Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's MZ here. In this video, I'll be talking about February reflections, all about my tarot practice, what cards I used, what type of readings I was getting, and just generally how I was in February. Again, this is another late post. It's like midway through March now, but I'm still making the video now, so that counts, right? So yeah, let me just show you what I've been up to in February. So let's just flip to February and I'll start telling you about my month. So my monthly card for February is the Queen of Cups. An emotional mirror stood out to me in the guidebook for this card. It actually did feel like an emotional mirror in February. So like my month, it was saying I was going to be more introspective, a lot of intuition, feeling my way through things. Self-care was important this month. And I needed to nurture my emotional well-being, treat myself and others with compassion, embrace my emotions, and be authentically me. And this February, I was very emotional. I was just things got to me more than they normally do. I don't know why that was, but I was just very like things would set me off very easily, very emotional, and I was just trying to get my way through February basically without crying. I don't know what was going on with me that month. It just was very emotional, and that card really does reflect that. I was looking more into myself and feeling things more emotionally than I normally would have, and I was trying to be more authentically me, because when I'm out in public, I sort of put a front on. I suppose people call it masking, and I was like questioning my identity, like who am I really? Am I just like different personas of masks when I'm with like in a work setting? But I know everyone sort of does that sort of thing. So yeah, I was just questioning myself a lot this month, and a lot of things were setting me off. So so I won't show you too much of this journal really, because there's a lot of stuff going on in here. But yeah, I was just reflecting on how I was feeling and everything and what I was up to. One journal entry I really did like was the one about like analysis paralysis. I did find it a minute ago. Where did it go? Somewhere here. Will you find it? Here it is. So like I found this picture online and it just really reminded me of how I felt. And a lot of similar themes kept coming up for me, like I needed more structure in my life, and no, I don't do things I want to do, and it looks like I'm just lazing around, but actually it feels like my brain's just going mental. So I thought it was a really good strength, and Emperor card came up for that. So yeah, I was just a lot of these sort of things were happening in that month. So let me just flip to the yearly cards. So these are all the cards I pulled in February. So I had a lot of cups in here. I had Emperor twice, so there's a lot of structure I needed. A lot of the readings I was getting was being in the present moment, focusing more on uh, just enjoying the now rather than being stuck in my head and that sort of thing. Those sort of readings I was getting like strength and a lot of swords here, a lot of mental things going on and everything. So that's my journal for February. So let me just show you what cards I used. For the first week, I used these two together. This kind of transitioned from the end of January into the beginning of February, which is the Flower Child Tarot and the Daily Gratitude cards. I really loved these two together. I thought it was great. Really have the same sort of art style. And been trying to practice more gratitude in my practice, just so I don't catastrophize everything all the time, and just be grateful for what I have and put my mind more in perspective of things. So be just grateful for things that do happen every day and try not to be such a downer. I don't know, like it does help me mentally be more positive. And I thought these look really cool together. Sort of backs of these look like that one looks like that. And this one has a message on the back, and I really did like to follow some of these. So this one says, as you put your tired mind to bed tonight, take a moment to say thanks and ask yourself what made me smile today. So I just really enjoyed having a gratitude deck, and these pair so nicely together. They've got that 70s, 60s, 70s art style look. And the colour palette's quite similar as well. And I just like the statements on here, like your home is your safe place. And tells you things, suggests you things to do, to be grateful for things. And yeah, it just really helped me in like a difficult month. Really sort of stopped me getting as emotional as I could have, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, gratitude begins with self-talk, definitely. So it's all about changing your perspective and getting rid of the negative script in your brain, which I was trying to do a lot in February. And I love how cute like little frogs are in this one, and yeah, it's really, really good pairing, I thought. As soon as I bought this deck, I knew it would go really well with this one. So yeah, this one was just more of a pick-me-up because I was feeling quite vulnerable in February. Like, everyone goes through them sort of times in their lives, and that was just February for me. I feel much better in March. So I don't know why I was so emotional. It just happened, I guess. But this helped me out a lot, put things more in perspective for me. And I love decks like this for that, because you do need sort of support, even if it's just with a deck. Like if you don't have anyone to talk to, or you don't want to talk to anyone about your issues, like having an uplifting deck can really help you out when you feel like you're dealing with things on your own. But yeah, this was a great pairing. Really enjoyed working with these ones. And that is the Flower Child Tarot and cards for daily gratitude. In the second week of February, I used these two together, the Live It the Ghost Tarot and the Inner Mask Oracle. These look so cool together. They've both got like purple boxes, and I just knew they've both got like a grayscale kind of colour palette. I thought these would, as soon as I got this new deck, it's quite new to me, I instantly thought this one would look really good with it. So this one doesn't have much of a guidebook, it's just little information on the leaflet. This one, the guidebook, is very, very well thought out. And just liked how they look together. What the backs look like. This one's got awesome purple edging, so cool. And this one has like another purple edging but matte. So these look incredible together, so good. I really loved how they looked. Probably not the best deck I should have worked with, this Oracle in particular, when I was feeling so vulnerable and like stressed out and emotional, but it did kind of help me. The guidebook for this Oracle is amazing. Let me just show you it quickly. It comes with this, you can get it online as well, like PDF if you buy this. There's so much information, like for each card you get a description of the actual image itself and keywords up here. Then it goes in for a story through the characters. They go through each card and then talks about the meaning and a reversal meaning. And it really sets you into that story of what's going on that card, and it's really insightful and kind of really makes you think about things, and it's very like shadow work based and everything. And I really loved working with this. But this one, these readings I did took much longer to process because there's so much detail in the oracle. But I really did like that. So I could delve right in and really figure out what's going on with me internally. Because it was really interesting, the guidebook for this one. I do have a walkthrough of this Inner Mask Oracle deck on my channel if you're interested. I'll link it in my description. But it's so cool, and they just work so lovely together. So I got really quite serious messages. A lot of the messages I was getting were based on masks and things, because it's the Inner Mask Oracle. It talks about certain aspects of ourselves that we show to others and that sort of thing. And I was feeling that way anyway in my day-to-day life. And it really brought that out in me thinking about things and how am I authentically being myself. So this was really interesting for me, and a lot of thinking and processing emotions and thoughts and everything, and negative outlooks, and how they're not really true. Thoughts are just thoughts, just let them pass through. Thoughts don't mean they're true, that sort of thing was going on in my mind. Like, what I perceive is not the truth, even though I might feel it is. So like, I might think someone's looking at me negatively, but they might not even be looking at me at all, or something silly like that. Or it was just really interesting to. It's very like psychological based, this deck. I really do enjoy it. Let me just see if I can give you a quick look at this card, Eighth Mask. That's what I mean, there's so much detail in this guidebook, it's amazing. Look at this Eighth Mask card. Memory, the vessel, emotion, holding on. So it gives you a description like the inner mask stands on a cliff and empties a jug of water into a canyon. A giant mask hovers above, shedding gallons of tears. A veritable waterfall descends from its eyes and into the ravine as though from some inexhaustible source. I definitely felt like that in February. So it's like the bad water had to be emptied, and the ravine was the place to do it. Every day the inner mask comes to this cliff's edge and pours out the water no longer needed in the home, while the deafening sound of the water roared nearby. It really sets in what you're looking at in the card, and I thought it was so amazing. But I won't read it all because look how much is for just this one card alone. Really puts you into the world of the inner mask, and how it's just so good. And then it gives you the card meaning. Like emotion and feeling, being true with yourself, honesty, coming to terms, returning to the source, cleaning out and purifying oneself. So a lot of that was all about shadow work and everything, and it was amazing. And you also get keywords on here, so emotion, holding on, and letting go. But it really was amazing reading that guidebook. I really enjoyed working with this, but maybe it was a good time to use it because I was feeling quite emotional. It helped me process my emotions and everything. Because I remember in January, I was saying I wasn't ready to deal with things with grief and that in the rainbow oracle I was using. And maybe that just stirred up emotions with me in February, and I was thinking about the past and people, loved ones, and relationships with people, and just my place in the world and everything. So, yeah, maybe this was a good time, even though it was painful to write about things or process things, because I like to avoid stuff in my brain. I'd be like, oh, give me a distraction so I don't have to think about it. This actually made me think about it. And I got this card a lot, actually, the body. It's like shedding your skin, like your mask that you're using, and showing within who you are. And yeah, I got that a couple of times, this card. And I got this card as well, the stranger. It's about embracing the unknown. And the story of this one is where a guy's guarding his house with no walls or windows, and a stranger keeps looking out for strangers, and he's holding a gun and being defensive and protecting himself. Then one day someone randomly knocks on his door, and it's himself. And it talks about letting the stranger in, like finding out who you are and everything, and just not doing the same thing every day and being on the defensive and that sort of thing. It's such a good deck. I really, really enjoyed it. And I've got this bedroom card as well. And yeah, it's just an amazing deck. And I really liked this deck to go with it. It's quite simple in comparison to this one, but I think I liked that about that because the focus was more on the oracle than the actual tarot, because this has its own world, and you get sucked into like the stories of each card. I really attempted to read the whole guidebook just so I can read all the stories because it was so good and really enjoyed it. So yeah, these are the cards I use in the second week of February. Very lots of realizations about things, processing emotions and thoughts, and yeah, a lot of shadowy work stuff going on with these decks. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So that was Live It the Ghost and the Inner Mask Oracle deck. In the third week of February, I used these two decks together, the Tarot of the Sweet Twilight and Dream Inspirational cards. I picked these two together because they both have like a surrealist sort of art style. And I thought they would look quite cool together. And I haven't used either of these that much. The Sweet Twilight I only got last year, so I haven't really used it that much. And the backs of these are very surrealist looking, both of them, and I just thought they looked really cool together. Guidebooks for these are like in multiple languages, so you only get a little amount of things. But what I liked about this one is that it will give you questions and some of the meanings behind cards, which I found really cool. So, like in this one, for the swords, so Six of Swords, it's why would someone with the ability to fly let herself be carried as a prisoner? What is the appeal of giving over control of one's own destiny to someone else? I just really like the take of the write-ups in this. I just thought it was different and I really, really enjoyed using these. I even wrote down what the guidebook said in my journal because I just liked how it was written. So I really liked reading from these. And the same with this one, it was sort of just keywords in this one with the meanings, so a bit less to go on. But I just liked the imagery and everything that went with them, and the keywords are quite interesting on that deck. And none of these have edging. I thought these looked so awesome together. Both got that sort of fantasy sort of look going on, like you can feel like you're in a different world. And I think their artwork complemented each other, both sort of abstract and surrealism in nature. I love this garden card, it's so cool. I love this artist anyway. I think he's done a lot of decks and I have all of them because I just enjoy his art style, so good. He's the one that done the Surrealist Tarot. It's so interesting, like this one's got home, it's keyword, benefactor, children, marriage, keys. Just so interesting. Now, I really did like the readings I got from these as well. Meditating, sand, just unusual keywords, and it really gives you that dream-like world, all the weird, quirky things that happen in your dreams. I dream a lot, so and I remember quite a few of them. I dream at least 6 or 7 times, and I can remember at least 5 dreams I've been having. My mind is so vivid; I don't even rest in sleep. Constantly thinking and mind going mental. That's probably why I wake up exhausted, but there we are. I've got tree in the chariot here. The tower, fishing, tattoos, flying over, Four of Wands. That's interesting. They're both laying on a sofa and then someone's flying in a bed. Just interesting to look at this sort of stuff. And it's really interesting what readings I did get. I love this card. I got this art card in one of my readings, and at the time I was looking at a lot of art YouTubers and being inspired, wanting to take that step in being more creative, but not actually having the push to do it. I don't have the confidence that I'm good enough to create art, but anyone can be creative, and you don't have to show anyone what you're creating. And I was sort of just living through other people and watching them be creative. And I got this card. I thought that's such a cool art card. Now it's coming out of the picture frame. I thought it was so cool, like another dimension or something. But yeah, there's really enjoyed working with these. I paired Like this one's more darker in imagery, this one's more lighter in tone. But they're both very out there. I think it's really cool. Love this magician card. Yeah, I had fun with these. It's good to play with decks I haven't really used properly. I never knew what to pair this dream card deck with. But I thought these was pretty cool. I also got a clock card as well. Yeah, these are awesome. So that was the Tower of Sweet Twilight and the Dream Inspirational cards. And the fourth decks I used at the last week of February were these ones, the Mars Power Tarot and the Venice Witch Oracle. This one was new to me, this Oracle deck. And I picked these together because they're both, like, the colour schemes are quite similar and modern looking imagery. I absolutely love this deck. I've had this a while and I've used it quite a lot. But I had to bring it out again because it's just so fun. And I felt like I needed a bit something less serious to work with, considering how emotional I've been in February. So this one was talking to me to bring out. And then they've got this one. This is very new. It's only just come out this year. And I just thought these looked amazing together. And I love the edging on these. It's so cool. So that's what the backs look like together. So cool and vibrant. I love it. Let's just flip them over so you can have a look. My only downside to this Oracle deck is that it doesn't have many cards. I think, how many are there? There's only like 33 cards in this deck. Yeah, there's only 33 cards in this deck. And you get like a little picture and then a little write up on each card. This tarot deck only comes with a little pamphlet with like little quotes and things. But they're both got that badass girl energy vibe going on. And I felt like I needed that at the end of the month just to face the world again and stop being so vulnerable. Be a bit tougher. And I like the readings I got from this as well. Some of these are really on point. Like, I pulled the father card in this, and my father went away to visit my sister, and he doesn't normally ever travel or go anywhere. And I got that the day he left, and I was missing him already because that's the sort of person I am. I just hate it when I'm on my own, sort of thing. And it was interesting that card came up the day he went, so that was interesting. But look how cool these look together. Just like very modern, young people in this as well as this one, and there's so much bright, colourful energy going on. Even they like mimic some of the movements, like this one and this one, they both look like they're dancing. And yeah, I thought these looked well cool together. I never really found a deck that would pair well with this one, but this new one that came out is really good. I just wish there was more cards that went with it. But I enjoyed working with these. Messages I got were great as well. And I like to have a different variety of decks every month. Like, I had a more shadowy, worky one, I had a more light-hearted, like gratitude sort of decks. I've got a more dreamy deck, and this one's more like girl power. You've got this sort of attitude sort of deck sometimes we need. So I like to pick different themes for each month, so they're not all the same, like everything's all serious or shadow worky sort of themes or that sort of thing, because you don't know how you're going to feel throughout the month. So I just like to I normally pick all the decks at the beginning of the month, but in March I've started to decide, I'll use this deck this week and then see how I feel next week and what deck I want to use. So I've been doing it that way rather than picking all four at the beginning of the month. So each week I'll just go switch it out for another deck. But really enjoyed these ones. I think they're so cool. And this deck is just so busy and I love it. And oh yeah, the card I got, was it here? Yes, this is. I pulled the Hanged Man and Learning. It was one of my tarot readings. And just look at the poses on here. Like, it's so. Tarot's amazing. Like, she literally looks like she's hanging down, like in the Hanged Man card. And I love that because when you're in that hangman sort of moment, you're reflecting on things, waiting for things to come to you, or learning new things. And yeah, that was just a really cool reading I got with these two cards. It's so awesome. So yeah, it's amazing how well decks work together when you try them out. So I love what I'm doing this year, pairing loads of different decks together and see what worked really well. So I really like that reading. So these decks were so cool. So the decks they were the Mars Power Tarot and the Venice Witch Oracle. I just wish this deck had more cards, but I had fun with them. So just to give you an overview, I worked with these two together in week 1. In week 2, I used the Inner Mask Oracle with the Live It the Ghost Tarot. And in week 3, I used these two together. And in week 4, I used these two together. If I had to rank them, I don't know. I feel like this would be number 1 just because of how much reflection I got from it, and I felt like it really benefited me in February. And I really enjoyed working with these ones, so I'll probably put that as number 2. And number 3, I suppose these ones, because having the daily gratitude really helped me get my mindset in perspective and to be grateful for things I have in my life and not focus so much on negative things. But I love the visuals of these as well. It's really hard to choose. So I suppose it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 would be my ranking for the month. But yeah, so that's my February reflections and tarot cards I use. Thanks so much for listening, and I really appreciate you watching my video, and I'll see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.